Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X another day. Time to 10X this city. Time to elevate Springfield. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. We're coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in downtown Springfield. Robert Farrell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor. Here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, another great episode in store for you today. Two phenomenal guests. We're going to start with Jared Brahler from Brahler Paving and Concrete. Going to hear his story. I'm excited to help him tell it. We also have Sarah Brewer on the Communities Grow Together segment, brought to you by David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency. She's here to talk about Illinois Women in Leadership and their upcoming symposium here in a couple of weeks. Great event y'all might want to get involved with. Do want to thank our friends over at Custom Property Solutions. Anything you got land related, whether it's land clearing, forestry, mulching, excavation, hardscapes, landscape, and anything in between, Brandon and his team are going to take care of you with precision and passion. Go ahead and give Brandon a shout or head over to Custom Property Solutions LLC.com. So yesterday we had a great event, the Springfield Small Business Forum. I'm going to touch on it more here in a little bit, but I do want to thank Ryan McCready. I want to thank Patrick Sheehan. I want to thank State Representative Mike Coffey for spending some time with us out at that event. So many great actionable items that we could take as business owners to help protect our business and then also make our voice heard. Do want to remind everyone of the upcoming Local First Springfield event as well. September 18th out at Jane Hay Sales and Staging out behind Harvest Market. 5 to 7 p.m. We're going to have food, drinks, live music, and a whole lot of networking. Come on out, see what Local First Springfield's been up to and what we have going on into the future. And then also while you're there, hey, get some of those collaboration points, meet up with other business owners, see how you might be able to partner together and help us all elevate Springfield. Let's get right to Jared after the break.
Custom Property Solutions transforms land and outdoor spaces throughout Central Illinois with precision and passion. From clearing overgrown brush to crafting stunning patios and fire pits. Need expert lawn care, excavation, or fence row clearing? They've got you covered, safely, efficiently, and on budget. Fully insured and satisfaction guaranteed. Visit Custom Property Solutions LLC.com today, where your land meets their passion.
All right, and we are back. Joining me in the studio now, Mr. Jared Brahler from Brahler Concrete. Jared, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful. The weather's nice outside, and I'm joining you on the show finally.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there. We're recording this on Labor Day here. Beautiful outside. So we're going to talk all about your business and strategy. But before we do so, let's learn about Jared. Tell us a little bit about you, man.
Okay, I've always had a construction background. I started around 13 years old with a general construction company, Kevin McClone. His business name is McClone Contractors. He would oversee a lot of the projects for Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
So I was just like a hose guy starting out.
I was going to say, at 13, what'd they have you do?
I'm like, I get to the job and I see this big building and he's like, we're going to demo this out. And he's like, you're going to run the hose. And I kind of thought, oh, man. That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But every job is unique in every certain way. And even the little jobs like that play a big role into the bigger part of the project also.
Right. So the hose guy for people that might not be in construction out there? What does the hose guy do?
So basically, my job was to just keep the dust down. We had a big fire hose, maybe 4 inch, 6 inch hose.
Mhm.
And it was just my job, like when the walls would come down, to keep the water on top of the dust to just prevent from dust going up in the air, obviously.
Yeah, because if you've never been in a demo situation, you don't know how big of a dust plume that can create, right? If you're knocking walls down and everything.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's probably one of my least favorite things on big sites, but I've been around the dust, man. It just comes with the territory. And after so long, I mean, you just get used to it. We got masks you can wear to prevent from inhaling any of that stuff, which is
Mhm.
good. You don't want to be breathing any of that toxic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So started at 13. You grew up around here?
Yes, I grew up in Springfield, Illinois. Been a resident my whole life. I love the community. I love my home. It's very important to you enjoy where you're from. That's your roots. So I've never lived outside of Springfield, been here my whole life. Big fan of the community. We got a lot of new things coming up with the networking group.
Mhm.
And I see Local First is really starting to take a big niche into the community. And I want to jump on board. You just see all the people involved with it, just like the networking group, Land of Lincoln. And it's going to be something that's really going to hold in this community for a long time.
Absolutely. Got a lot of heavy hitters getting after with that stuff, don't we?
Oh, yeah, man. And great people, too.
Yeah, just phenomenal people.
Each monthly meeting, I'm meeting more people, and it's like, wow, we're all different in our own unique ways, but you wouldn't think so many business people would have the same views on things. And it's a great feeling because you feel at home already. So you're not really reaching or searching to really establish yourself. I just had a call the other day out of the group, and it was for a job. And it's nice when other people actually care about the other businesses succeeding rather than just worry about their self.
Absolutely. Well, that just goes to show we've surpassed $1 million in referral and economic impact referrals for just this past week and a half or so as part of the group. So that's phenomenal. That's
That's
a lot of money in the community going to members through referrals.
That's
So-
a big mark quick. You put together any type of business or organization, no matter what it is, the impact and the numbers will not lie. For the numbers to hit that high that quick, that shows how much dedication there is in that group. And that's why I wanted to really be a part of it.
No doubt about it. So, growing up here in Springfield, did you always know you wanted to be in construction in some capacity? I know you started early, but did that really hit home? Say, yeah, that's really what I want to do.
No, I used to always wonder what I would do forever. I had dreams, I had ideas. I've done multiple different jobs, that I tried out. And I mean, I enjoyed them all. I changed oil for my grandpa's business for like 3 years. And I'm one of those dedicated type people that no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to pay attention to learn the ins and the outs to try to get better at it, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I really strive. I mean, I don't like bad results, so I know, hey, you got to pay attention. You got to listen. You might see the worker that's been there the longest or the guy that's maybe doing things real efficient. And I just try to get under their wing and pick their brain. Hey, how can I do this? How can I do that? And that's how I've learned a lot of the things I've learned in my life.
Absolutely. So you mentioned your grandpa's business, the automotive side. Anybody out here in Springfield might recognize that Brahler name from the auto service side as well. Now, did you take quite a few lessons from grandpa in terms of the entrepreneurial spirit and work ethic and things like that?
It makes me wonder sometimes because it's, business is really hard and there's no school for business, obviously, that's really going to teach you the in the field things that come up. I didn't go to business school, so I have no degree there, but it's really trial and error with business. You need to get out there and be involved and just pay attention to your customers, always try to get feedback. That's important. And I really think it's in my blood. I think that my grandpa, being who he was to me, I always looked up to him. It's in me.
Yeah, and they've been a mainstay in the community for many, many years now.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So when did you make the transition to Brahler Concrete? You say you did quite a few things. You changed oil for a while. You
Yeah.
did some different things, but when When was it, and what was the impetus to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go out on my own, and concrete is where I'm gonna go"?
So I worked for O'Shea Builders for about 6 years leading up to this business really taking off. And everyone knows O'Shea. They're a very established company. You know, they take on a lot of the big building projects here in town. They're the general contractor. So we were in control of the concrete to start. You know, you pour your foundation before you start building. You know, I always wondered, why do they do the foundation? And I started asking questions to the
Mhm.
upper superior. How come we do the concrete? It's like the hardest thing on the job. And
Right.
that's how you control a project. If you're in control of the foundation, if you sub that out and somebody gets behind on your foundation, that can potentially lead to big delays down
Yeah,
the
all the
road on
way
the
down.
project,
Mhm.
So I took notice of that, and we were doing a lot of foundations, not really flat pours, but it started to grow on me. It's like I know I'm capable of doing this, but you really need to have a plan in order before you try to really execute a business. You really need to sit down and, really put a plan before you take action. It's important, it can really lead you away from a lot of the bad errors in a business that, sometimes could be end a business. So believe it or not, I started more on the asphalt side of business. Like I was doing seal coating and doing like striping, like all your parking lot markings and all that,
Sure.
parking lot maintenance. But I knew I could do concrete, but I just tried to wait for the right time to make that transition. And this is really crazy. I would have thought the asphalt side of my business would have got big before the concrete because of how much knowledge of asphalt I have. But the concrete side just took off last year. We took on some projects later on in the season, and then this year we just call after call, it just started coming in. And it's grown on me. Back before the whole business took off, I wanted to be an asphalt guy because I love asphalt. That's where my heart is at. But then when I worked with O'Shea, I started to feel like, man, maybe I should do general construction since that's what you're doing now. So I thought about that, which I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm always a business that's looking to expand and hit the next level. And I just started taking on concrete, and then the feedback we were getting was just unreal. It was like, every customer like, "Man, your guys work so hard and they don't take breaks when you're not around." And
Mhm.
we just try to hit our we try to stay with our schedule. So we got to stay busy. We can't show up and really just hang
Right.
out. Here recently, I took the guys a day away from work, and we went golfing. And one guy had never golfed before. My buddy played right-handed and he's left-handed. My
Oh,
good
okay.
buddy, that one of my main employees, he's my good friend also. And we had a great time. We laughed the whole time. Everybody had some great shots. And it's just a reminder that, hey, you need to put some fun in there for the guys and let them every so often have a day where we just shut down and take away and go do something fun. I want that atmosphere to stay. No matter how big we get, we want to keep a fun, friendly atmosphere that you're not showing up for work and dreading it on Monday. You're like, man, I'm ready to go
Right.
to
Ready to
work.
go.
We're gonna
Let's
go.
get it.
We're gonna go out to eat. Who knows what he's gonna. Uh, a month ago, I shut down for a day in the heat of the summer, and I took him to the beach in Shelbyville
Oh,
and
there
let
you
him
go.
swim. I mean, when I said, "Hey, do you guys want to go swimming?" I didn't know if they thought I was joking, but I said, "Hey, let's go," and we did.
Hit that
So
beach day.
yeah, it's hot out. It was 110 with the heat index. I said, "Hey, let's go swimming for an hour. Let's
Mhm.
instead of eating lunch." Everybody jumped right in the truck.
So do you attribute, you said your customers would always say, "Hey, guys don't take breaks when you're not around. It's not like the cat's away, the mice will play type things." Do you attribute that work ethic to that team building that you do?
Yes, that's important. You definitely gotta set the tone per se, and then follow suit and not get off track.
Mhm.
You know.
Absolutely. So you said all of a sudden the phone calls just kept on coming and kept on coming and kept on coming. So what do you attribute that to? Was it your marketing strategies? Was it word of mouth? What was it?
I really don't know. I try to ask every customer, how did you hear about us so we can keep up on that? I think
Mhm.
that's important. I really don't know what made it turn the page, I guess just our reliability, being transparent with customers, honesty, being on schedule. There's been a couple customers that like, hey, can you get us in this? And we worked them in.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely work with our customers if we can move a job around, and try to get them if they're priority, because sometimes other customers want to wait till the end of the season or they're not in a hurry to get it done. So we try to definitely meet everyone's schedule. And I wish I knew exactly what made us turn the page. It's very exciting.
So what kind of marketing do you do for the company?
So I recently built a website. I'm still working on that because I really want to make it personal. I got a team working on that, and we wanted to get something up and running right away. I think it's really important, for established business to have that web page. With how many people use the web every day now. Oh, they're not going to the phone book like they used to. So it's important to have something for them to take a look at, maybe past projects, or if you got different color options for concrete. Or a lot of people are still learning that we're much more than just a concrete business.
Mm-hmm.
Like a customer today, he looked at my brochure and oh, you do parking lot striping too. So it's really exciting that we're still catching on as a business and people are realizing, hey, they're more than just asphalt concrete.
So you say that with that website, what's the long-term goal with that website? You want to do more automation rolling through there and everything too?
Yeah. So this is one thing I've been ahead of the game on the digital marketing. I got a good friend that does all my videos and edits, and he's been outstanding for my business. And maybe that played a role into us getting known in the community. He's done drone videos, he's done still shots, he's done everything. And when we put something out, I've had business owners of 30 plus years ask me who did it, that it was just outstanding. Our logos, everything, it plays a role into people seeing your brand. Sometimes like I told you, I don't know where I kind of find these things, but it's like you got to represent your brand and you got to have it out there every day. You want people to see your brand when they turn a street corner, whether they get on the web. A lot of people are doing billboards. We haven't done one yet, but we're looking forward to getting our first billboard maybe around Springfield, which would be really exciting. A dream of mine. So it's a big puzzle, but small pieces come together per time. But I really think we got something special with this business, and I'm not going to give up now. I think I've made it through the early hurdles of business, and it's like now you just got to stay committed. You got to stay going above and beyond and just treat it like it's your home or your personal project at your home, like the old saying, treat people how you want to be treated. All those simple fundamentals in life that go so far and hold so much respect. And, so that's where I'm at.
They go a long way, don't they?
They really do. My dad always said, pay attention, whether you like it or not, pay attention. And I mean, that's carried on with me my whole life. I still hear that in my head sometimes when it's something new that I've never done. I hear my dad saying, pay attention, care, give it your all, go 110% or don't even try.
Right.
You
And that's
know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
There's too many people out there that don't do any of those things, right?
Yep.
So you said your brand. What do you want to be known for in Springfield? Or what kind of company do you want to be known as?
I really want everyone to know us as the company that does things right. I don't want to be a company that people ever question our work quality or work ethic. I want everyone to know that when we sign a contract with you, we are doing everything that's in that contract, and we're going to hold to that no matter what happens. I think you could spend less than 5 minutes and do it the right way in some instances. Why try to take the shortcut when it's going to come back in the end, and then you're going to be on that job site again, and that takes away from new projects or advertising or bidding or all the stuff that it's a lot to keep up with as is.
Right. Absolutely. So a few minutes ago, you said seal coating. I think people know what that is, but I think there's people out there might not know what that is. So
Yeah.
what is seal coating?
So seal coating is your parking lot maintenance or your driveway maintenance for asphalt. It's a coat we apply. We basically come in, we will prep clean the area. It's really important to get the asphalt very clean, make the sealer really stick and hold well. and then we brush it on. Some companies will spray it. I don't really believe in the spraying option. It's more like painting the surface, as to where when you broom it, it actually gets down in the pores and really leaves a thick coat on it.
That makes sense. So that essentially gives your asphalt more longevity, right?
Yes, it is a suggested maintenance for asphalt, which in your high traffic areas like parking lots, you're going to want to do it about every 2 years, as to where a driveway, you're only seeing one or two cars in and out, you could probably get 3 or 4 years out of it, and it will prolong the life of your asphalt. So I had a customer that would just seal his every year, even though I'd tell him, hey, you don't need to seal it this year. But he was a nice guy. It was had to lower the overall cost, because it was like a 5 gallon bucket will do this whole driveway now, because he kept up on the maintenance, and his driveway lived forever. Yeah, it really will reduce the cracking. We all know that asphalt patching is going to cost more than seal coating. I mean, you got to bring out big
Yeah.
machines and asphalt truck and a paver, so I try to tell people, keep up on the maintenance, and it will save you money in the long run.
Okay. So walk us through, say, I need something done. I say, hey, Jared, I need a new driveway. I need a new sidewalk that goes into my backyard. Walk us through your process for putting a project together for people.
So if you're wanting to do like a concrete driveway and sidewalk, we would come in first and demo out whatever materials were there, whether it was concrete, asphalt, rock. That's about normally the three things you see. Some people do oil and chip. We don't offer that service yet, but we plan on getting into that eventually. But we remove all the material. We haul off all the material off site. So we take care of that headache for you. That's step one. And then we assess the base. Sometimes you'll see rock under driveways. Sometimes you see sand. We always want to put down a good base rock. It's very important. And I see this a lot. We'll go to tear in a driveway that's cracked really bad, and there'll be sand under it, or there won't be no rock base at all.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's why your driveway failed. So we want to put about an 8-inch base of CA7 grade rock, and then we compact it, and then we'll establish our heights. So if we need fall away from the garage, that way there's no water holding or getting in
Right.
those areas you don't want, which is really important. I see a lot of jobs where the water's going right towards the foundation of houses, and that's not good. I
No,
mean,
that's a big deal.
that's a structure deal now, and the cost is just very expensive if you get into that type of repairs. So I'm always conscious of the water. It's very important on every project to have water going away from the house and never puddling anywhere, sitting anywhere. So then we install rebar, which is reinforcement for your, concrete, cement. Asphalt does not have rebar in it. You're basically just laying the asphalt on top of your grade rock. And then we'll set our forms. And that's probably the most critical part of the job, because that's where all that fall comes into play. And if you're not square on this end or that end, it's
Right.
going to show, obviously, because your forms are basically your outline of your project. So then the final big step is pouring, obviously. And I would say that's, critical also. Concrete's kind of got a mind of its own. So it's important to know how much water you can put in it. They make some additives you can put in concrete to help with it setting up, so it don't quite set up so fast on you. And then some of our more detailed pours, like colored or stamping, we'll have to mix the color in with the truck when it shows up on site. So we'll give them the bags of the dye and let them mix that. And then it's a whole nother step. So basically, you put the concrete down just like you're doing normal concrete. You strike it off, you get it looking smooth, you edge it, and then you have to get back on it. You put a powder release out, and then you set your stamps on and do a big puzzle moving up or away from the house, which I can share some videos with you on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
It's interesting.
That's probably pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And the turnout is just amazing. I can share pictures or videos off the site. You walk into a backyard area with wood panel stamps or stone texture. I mean, somebody's going to, wow, so.
Yeah, because you can make those stamps look like a lot of different things, right? To where it almost doesn't look like concrete. Like you said, it looks like wood pan.
Absolutely.
Right.
We've got a lot of different textured stamps that we offer, and I love it. It's really growing on me more than anything because just the customer's face when they first see it, the instant just wow. So, yeah, the decorative concrete could probably be really special for us. I really don't see anyone in town really just fully committed to like decorative concrete. I know a lot of companies offer it, but I'm not seeing any company just dominating it.
So what's the benefit of doing decorative concrete rather than some other applications out there? Like you said, you got the wood look concrete. Why not just do wood?
Well, wood's got a lot of maintenance to it, and I've
Uh-huh.
ran into that at my house, and you probably
Yeah.
had to put a new deck board on or
Yep.
paint a deck. And man, I've been at this place for 6 years, and the wood's still there, but I'm not doing nothing else to it. I'm done painting it. I'm done. I've got it good and sound now, but the decorative concrete is low maintenance. You get the pad down, and we have to put a clear on top of the stamp because of color to give it that shine. You're not gonna need to put clear on it for 5 years after that, so it's a very low maintenance, and they recommend 1 coat of clear on top of decorative. I put 2 on because I'm just being honest here. I don't want my customer to call in 5 years after they have something put in to have us come back out.
Sure.
So I just go ahead and put 2 coats on. It's not by the book, but I've never seen it hurt nothing. I just try to
Going above and beyond for your client too.
that's it. I mean, that's me. Like I'm conscious of everything we do on the job, and I just believe, hey man, just go above and beyond. And people do take notice of that. As to where if you take a shortcut, this guy might have a construction job and he might say, "Well, how come you didn't do that?"
Right.
And
Exactly.
then now you got to I never believe covering an answer with a lie because it might start out as that little lie, but what's it going to lead to? I just like to be straight out and get the job done right the first time.
Absolutely. So you said less maintenance on the stamped concrete. How long does that, like the color, how long does that, if you keep the seal on it, does that color just last indefinitely?
It actually does last forever. It's mixed into the concrete. Yeah, as long as you keep up on that sealer maintenance about every 5 years and don't start to lapse on that, because probably after that 5 years, the clear is going to start to wear a little bit,
Hmm.
and then the sun could fade the color some if it's not protected. But
Right.
if you protect it right, you're going to have that as long as you live at the house. It'll look great.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit of lower maintenance over wood because you're constantly having to stain wood,
Yeah.
right, to keep it looking good.
Yeah, I don't. I'm out of time for projects at home right now. I've done some at home this summer. I like to keep a nice house. When you can do everything yourself. I mean, it's kind of fun to make your house look nice. Yeah, I did a fence this year at home, and that's kind of the last one for now.
Right. So you've said a couple of ways you've done this, but how do you feel you elevate your clients or elevate the client experience?
I really just try to pay attention, listen to them, and always be on their end, if that's a good way to put it. If they call and have any type of, question, I'm right on top of it, trying to give them the best feedback, just paying attention. I'm constantly doing my homework, and I got to point this out. I'm sure you know Ben Taylor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, he's been helping me. We've been talking on the phone. We're both so busy,
Hmm.
but I've known him for a long time, and, I can't thank him enough for him just talking to me on the phone, and just that means so much to me because we might not be discussing one thing and we might kind of jump around, but when you meet someone that's been in business and been through the hurdles and very well established, like he's a great example of a leader.
Hmm.
I mean, his work just says it all. You just look at the finished product and it's just like, wow, man, who's ever behind this, you got to pat him on the back.
No doubt about it.
But he's helped me a lot. Just, if things come up and I have questions, I'll just get on the phone. And sometimes we've had an hour and a half conversation on the phone, and that means the most to me.
How important is that to have those people in your life to where you can bounce ideas off of, have mentor slash friendship relationship, right?
It's incredible. He's always been my friend, and I've been seeing his business grow over the years, and I'm a big supporter of any local business to Springfield. And I ran into him at the Lincoln Land
Hmm.
group, and he came up, gave me a hug, and he said, "I'm gonna have some jobs for you here coming up." And it's just a great feeling. It's like, man, you see what he's doing in the community, like we talk, that can really help build your brand, having other companies that are reliable that you can go to when a customer asks for a bid on a retaining wall.
Mhm.
That's out of our realm. So, hey, I can send you tailor made. This guy's outstanding, and it just carries over. And yeah, I'm lucky to have Ben. Man, I could probably ask him about anything, and he's gonna shoot at 100. That's what I like.
No doubt about it. Yeah, you mentioned a second ago, kind of that referral base. I mean, that's one of the biggest benefits of being a part of the Land of Lincoln professional networking. And it, do you have that? You have that base of people that where, yeah, you don't do this, but you know exactly who to send them, or that it's just huge. And that's how we've gotten to that over $1 million in referrals already, which
Yeah,
is flat out amazing.
yeah.
So,
Ben, he puts it to me like this: sometimes people will undermine the bigger picture of getting a customer in line with a good reputable business. It helps build your brand. If you're that go-to guy, and you got a roofer, you got a siding person, and people like that. And when people like something, they're going to talk more about your business to family and friends. They're going to maybe make a Facebook post, so it comes back around, because word of mouth is the best in business. We all know that, because you can get online and look at the marketing of businesses, but that really don't give you an inside feel of the business. But when you have a customer or client that's been with your business and tried it and seen the results, when they share that to somebody, it's like people credit that more, because it's like an inside look at the business, feel
yeah,
like.
no doubt about it. When you already have a relationship with somebody or know of somebody, and then they give you that, hey, this guy's great. It makes it easy. It automatically makes you comfortable with that business.
Yes.
So, so what's next for Brailer? What do you get? What's on the horizon? You touched on it a little bit, but what are some things you have coming up?
So I dream big. I just want to put that out there. I never sell myself short, and I'm not stopping with concrete and the asphalt business. We plan to expand into a trucking business hopefully by next year.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be able to haul materials. We plan on getting some tandem trucks to where we could haul concrete, sand, gravel. We plan to hire those trucks out. So if someone needs a load of rock, or, something hauled away in a truck, we're going to be the go-to for that.
Heck yeah, I love it.
I'm trying.
That's
I'm trying
awesome.
my best. I've thought maybe crossing into some real estate too, because we're a seasonal business, and all my experience from O'Shea will carry over if we want to get into remodeling some homes. It's a lot smaller scale. I was always on the big scale of construction with O'Shea, because how they do
Oh
projects.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they're over here at Springfield High. They got Lanphier they just wrapped up with.
Mhm.
These are big projects.
What were some of the big ones that you worked on?
One of my favorite projects I did with O'Shea was probably the Kidseum, which it's been quite a few years ago now. But anytime you see something going up in the community for kids, it gives you a good feeling, because the youth's only going to be as good as we share. So we got to share our info with them. We got to set up programs for them to help them build in life. And the YMCA on Carpenter was another one I really enjoyed. I was on that one for about 8 months, and 6 months ago, I took the kids there to play basketball, and they loved it. So we're utilizing the building that I helped build, and I can tell cool stories to the kids about the pool in there when all that wasn't full of water. And my dad even went with us. So it was like father, son, grandkids. That's special when you get the three generations together.
Yeah,
So,
that's a cool thing about construction. In any part of the construction, you can go around and say, "Hey, I built that," or I laid that that foundation for that right there. I did that, or I did that. It's just cool to see the stuff that you've been able to create. Right.
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's actually one of my favorite things to do when we're going to, dinner or lunch or shopping with the family, and we drive by a job that
Mhm.
I might have been on that week, and I'm sure it gets annoying, because I mean, I've done so many in the community
Sure.
now, but my fiance, she always says, you did that. She's starting to remember job, because You know, you try not to take your work home with you every day, but I'm just a very dedicated person. I've always shared my experiences on the jobs, and I'm sure my mom's heard about a bunch of the projects I've done. I like sharing that. It's just fun, you know,
Yeah,
when you care about something.
no doubt about it. So you said you're seasonal with concrete, of course, because you got to have decent weather. You can't be putting concrete in when it's 5 degrees outside. So what's your kind of hot and heavy season? Is it that April to October ish?
Yeah.
What you're looking at?
Yeah. There are some concrete things we can do when the weather gets down, but, you know, typically your driveways, your patios, all that stuff dries up, you know, but we're always looking to stay busy. So, you know, I'm sure with how I am, I'm going to find the guys something to do, whether we renovate our shop or no, I'm trying to get an office setting set up, but not only office, more like a showroom where we could bring customers, talk about jobs, and maybe have some displays of some stamped
I
concrete.
was going to say that would look phenomenal. Your
Yeah.
stamped concrete pieces there, that would look
Yeah.
great.
Maybe have a piece of asphalt when you come in. That way you could see the seal coating and maybe some striping demos out there. I just think that customers would like that, you know, when they see you actually have an actual space. So it's like, okay, this guy's official now,
Right,
you
exactly.
know? So, and it's home for the guys, you know, I really want to set up something special at the shop where I like cooking out a lot. I like cooking the guys a good meal maybe on a Friday night after we get done with work. Hey guys, meet at the house. We'll get the grill going and just enjoy like
Yeah.
we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Make it fun for everybody.
Yeah, no, my uncle, he owned Air Masters for many
Mhm.
years, and he created a space for his guys where there's a pool table and a little area where they can just go hang out and have fun.
So you won't believe this. Your uncle's my good friend, Robbie Matthews.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
So I played a bunch of pool with him. Yeah, he's another guy that I always have in my corner. If I ever ran into something or needed just to have a talk about business, he would definitely do it. And I'm a big time pool player. So when I met him, it was just like instantly I already looked up to him. I knew who his business was. I knew that he had been around forever. And, you know, I admire any business owner because a lot of people just don't understand what goes on behind the scenes of a business. And me being young, I got to see my grandpa dedicate his whole life to his business and how serious it had to be to actually run a successful business. Now, you could go 50% and get a 50% business, but
Right.
I just don't believe in
don't
that.
want that.
No, I like it's got to be 100% at least. Robbie's a great time, man. Great business role model in the community. So, yeah, he's a very nice guy.
No doubt about it. Well, we were talking before we went on air. Mike, the person that I was talking to you about, that's his brother.
Okay.
So that's the connection there.
Okay.
So that both really good pool players. But yeah, absolutely. So,
That's awesome. That's my game, man.
Yeah.
If I can get away on a weekend or there's certain tournaments I play in every year, like over in Louisville, I play in the Derby City. This will be my 5th consecutive year. And these aren't your backyard bar players.
Right.
These are the professionals that are, you miss one time and you might not shoot
You're
for
done.
5 or 6 racks.
Right.
So great game. And I really enjoy it. Probably eventually put a pool table in at the shop, you know, if the guys want to come back and bet for lunch the next day or whatever.
Right. Have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot of business. Let's go to the personal side. What are some ways you elevate your life personally?
Just caring about yourself, first of all. It's very important to take care of yourself. That's a big step in life. It's easy to put your health on the back burner because we get going so busy every day, getting the kids ready, helping them. Hey, I want to go fishing. I want to go to the river. That's my son. I just try to care about myself and always pay attention, you know, and knowledge is key, you know, reading or studying up on whatever topic you're trying to elevate in is very huge because nowadays the information's out there. You just got to want it.
No doubt about it. Any books, any authors, any books you like in particular?
I've had some, like, this is kind of crazy, but I've had some people give me some business books. I had our pool director give me one, and another customer gave me a book one day, and it was more like a religion book. But I definitely have faith in God, and I have strong beliefs, and Nothing in particular on the books, but I would definitely be open to read anything about business.
Yeah, I've got an extensive list I could recommend to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So how old are the kids?
So the youngest is 7, he's getting ready to be 8, and the oldest is 14. So
What?
there's a little age jump
Yeah.
there.
No, mine are 15 and 12. So both girls. They're into fishing, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of our go-tos is fishing. We got a good friend that my friend Matt, his father lives out on Bradfordton Road, and he's got a private pond, and it's like every time you throw one out, you get one. So it's kind of cheating fishing,
Right.
but
It's fun for them though,
well,
absolutely.
yeah, that's what it's about. You know, my son caught a big bass out there probably 3 years ago, and he's been hooked ever since. And he hasn't caught one as big as that yet, but he's still after it.
You're talking about golf earlier with fishing and in golf, that one good hit or that one big fish will keep you coming back time and time again, even if you don't get any other good hits or any other good fish for a while. So just the way it is with those two sports, I guess.
You're right. It's the thing I most like about fishing myself is it just clears your mind because you're just throwing that thing out and you're just hoping you get a bite or gets a real one in. So it's just a good way to clear your mind and relax a little bit.
Any other organizations that you're a part of outside of Land of Lincoln Professional Networking? Anything else you do community wise?
I've been reaching out to Ben asking about the home and depot shows. I
Mhm.
want to get a spot at the convention center or the next one like at the fairgrounds to just promote. You know, we've never done it and it's critical. That's what the shows are for and it's in the community, so why not be a part of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could talk about that after the show too. I've been on the board for the Springfield area home builders for quite a few years, so they're the ones who put on the show out at the fairgrounds that used to be here in downtown at the BOS Center. So I can talk to you about that if you want.
See, you got all the plugs on everything. I
That's true.
mean, it just that's a perfect example of why we're lucky within the group. There's so many people that have been staples in this category, that category, and I haven't met anyone in the group yet that didn't want to share some information or give pointers. We're very lucky with that.
No doubt about it. Well, Jared, I always close with these last couple of things. We've had a lot of great takeaways so far. Let's give the audience one more on the professional side, one more on the personal side, maybe a piece of advice to help them elevate their life or business.
Okay, I'll start with the business side. Just being prepared. When you go on a estimate, meeting with a customer, just be prepared. People will take notice of that. So be on time, have all your stuff in order, have your measuring wheel is what I carry. I always have a can of paint in my truck in case there's grass there and they want to see the layout to help them envision it. And
Yeah, so when you said paint, I'm like, why would he have paint? But then,
yeah,
there you go. That
you
makes
know, I'll
sense.
paint the outline of the parking lot patch that we're going to
Mhm.
do or the concrete patio to help them envision what's going on. And just being transparent and honest to your customers will take you so far. If you try to cheat or lie to your customers and that gets out, it could bring a business down really quick. So it's just very important to be honest with them, be upfront, and I think that'll carry you a long way. People like honest people and hardworking people, so that all plays into that. And just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't
Mhm.
try to take on a project that's too big for you. If you know, it's okay to say no. And that happens a lot on jobs. The customer will inquire about something and the people don't want to miss out on the work.
Right.
It's okay to miss out on work. Stay in your category and that's going to elevate you far. You try to go out of what you do every day. I don't know what's going to happen.
Did you learn that early on? Because I think that's one that some entrepreneurs takes a little bit for them to realize that, hey, not every job is a job I should take. Not every client is my ideal client. So,
Yes, I learned that very early on. And I paid attention to that detail because one time I had a job and the lady wanted some railing done. Well, I knew we could do the railing, but that wasn't the point. We had a schedule, and I ended up having to go out there on a really hot day and put it up. And guess what? We got it done great. She loved it, and it just wasn't for us. And that's okay. It's okay to turn down work and just simply tell a customer, hey, that's not for us. And just with the networking group now, it's going to be easy to say, but I got a guy
but
right
here's a guy right here.
or
Call
a
them.
lady that can come and do this, right? And That's a great thing for me because, when you're young in business, you don't want to pass up any work, but not every project is going to be for you. And you need to know that before you step foot on the projects. Sometimes it's just out of your hands. I mean, just walk away from it and it's going to be better. So just stay in your category or area is my biggest piece of advice.
Love it. And how about personally?
Personally, it just really comes down to caring who you are and your character, how you carry yourself. You're going to have to get up early. You're going to have to stay up late. I catch myself saying all the time, I'm not going to work today. And then I end up working.
Uh,
But you got to create time for family too. As the kids get older, I've really realized how critical it is to spend every minute with my kids and not only your kids, but the people you love most. Life is very short. So just show up for your family and your kids and support. A little bit of support will go so far with your kids. I'm realizing it. And my father always worked 3 jobs when I was young. So he wasn't always there, but when he was there, it was all attention. And it makes me cherish the little moments with my son, the boys the most. You hear stories, people getting freak car accidents, motorcycle construction. So our job can be dangerous, but I mean, we really don't do overhead stuff or nothing like that now. When I was with O'Shea, walking on the job any day, there was potential that I might not come home today.
No doubt
So
about it.
I just always try to give them my time and support all their sports, fishing,
Mhm.
going to the river and looking for things that I don't even
Yeah.
know what we're looking for
Right.
sometimes. But like last weekend when we went to the river, he was thanking me. And that really touches your heart in a special way when you took a little time out of your day to drive down to the river and let them just explore.
Yeah, explore stuff and look around.
Best feeling, man. Seeing your kids happy, there's no better feeling in life. So I'll end with that.
No doubt about it. And is there anything we can do community wide to help elevate all of us here in Springfield and the surrounding communities?
I think just showing up and supporting, like I said, a little bit of support goes a long ways. And I learned this through my union that we've got to support each other. How can you have great turnouts without support? It
Mhm.
just does not happen. And like I seen recently, Nob Hill had a event and it looked like they had a great turnout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I'm going to be at the next one. But I believe in all that and just caring about the community is a big thing that we all need to do inside our group is just support each other and go to all the small events because they lead to bigger things than you
They
think.
do.
Like even that, for example, they're more of a landscaping business, but support is what's going to help elevate all of us. If we support each other, we will be a lot stronger than just having that bad taste towards other businesses. I've seen a lot of business owners have something bad to say. Why knock the next person? I mean,
Mhm.
there's no need for it. I want to support every business. I'm opposite of a normal, from what I've seen in my years coming up with businesses. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm supporting them. We're
Absolutely.
all going to grow together.
That's what we should do, right?
I feel much better about it, going about it that way. And the small things, just because it might seem small scale or something that the big businesses aren't supporting, that does not mean nothing. You might walk into the biggest job of your career or your company's history going to some of those small things. And it's not all about that. I'm a big supporter of charity also. My grandpa did the Friend Indeed golf outing. He was the head guy,
Oh, okay.
chairman for many years
Yeah.
of that. And another local charity is St. Martin de Porres that my grandpa led for many years. So
Mhm.
I helped out on some holidays and got to see firsthand just help out the community. You support whatever it is you're into.
No doubt about it. We say it a lot on the show. Communities grow together, and that's how we do it, by supporting each other.
Yes, sir.
So, Jared, if somebody's wanting to do business with you, maybe some asphalt, maybe some concrete, whatever, how would they go about doing that?
So you can contact me on my cell at 217-836-8031. We have the Facebook page also, Brahler Paving and Concrete Services. And then, like I said, the website also is Brahler Paving and Concrete. It's going to come up if you go to Google. My email's on there, which is jaybra88@gmail.com. You can contact me any of those ways. I would love to come out and throw some ideas out there, or maybe try to help get a solution or whatever's best for your project.
Let's go. All right. Well, appreciate you spending the morning with me.
It was fun.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we're going to let Jared get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back.
Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agent, is here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343.
All right. How about Jared, right? Great story. We're going to take a few minutes like we always do. Talk about what we discussed through a 10X lens. Also want to discuss the event that I mentioned in the opener that we had yesterday. A lot of great things from that as well. But let's start with what we discussed with Jared. One of his biggest things was honesty, transparency, dependability, right? Some of those fundamental items that go so far with people. We always say in the 10X world, if you can't advertise your sales process or advertise your processes, you are probably not doing it right. You should have transparent processes. You shouldn't be trying to trick anybody. You shouldn't be trying to pull anything over anybody. You should have transparent processes. And people get that. Just like Jared said, so many people are just looking for a great work ethic, doing what you say you're going to do, right? Following through on your commitments. Those are all big things in the 10X world and big things in all the world, really. You're going to be successful if you can master those fundamental items. Of course, he also talked about the networking group that he and I are both a part of, Land of Lincoln Professional Networking Group, and he touched on Local First Springfield. In the 10X world, we talk about getting out there and being a part of things. Be a part of networking groups, be a part of trade associations, be a part of politics, be a part of your church, be a part of the school districts, right? Be a part of everything. Ingrain yourself into the community. That way you're going to be able to network with folks from all over the place and find those collaboration points that we always talk about. We always talk about collaboration is the new currency, and you're only going to be able to collaborate if you meet folks. So get out there, meet folks, join these groups, be a member in all of them, go to all the events, network with folks, and be genuine with it. Jared talked a little bit about the honesty and being genuine with people, being yourself. Go to these networking events with genuine intentions to learn about others, to figure out what other people are doing, to really just learn. Don't go there with the intention necessarily of trying to sell this or that, but go with the intention of learning. See what other people are doing. Maybe find out how you can utilize that in your business or in your life. And maybe you will find some of those partnership opportunities to where you will be able to do some selling and have some business done at those events. But go with the heart of genuine learning, just wanting to learn more about people, network with folks, find those points of collaboration. So great stuff with Jared. I do want to touch on the event we had yesterday through Big Dog Business Coaching. We partnered with Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse Illinois. We had a great presentation and panel yesterday out at Pole Barn Chic. Do want to thank them for their support of the event. They were one of the primary sponsors of the event over there as well. Audrey, Angie, thank you for all your work and what you do. It's a phenomenal venue. Highly recommend if any of you guys out there need a venue, check out Pole Barn Chic. Great venue. So we started off the morning, of course, with a light breakfast and networking for folks to get to know each other. But then we went right in with a presentation from attorney Patrick Sheehan from here in town. He did a phenomenal job of laying down some of the foundational things that any business owner needs to be able to protect their business. Things like employee handbooks and insurance and succession plans. So many powerful nuggets, so many actionable strategies, all packed into 1 hour. Pat did a phenomenal job. You need an attorney out there, hey, give Pat a shout. Comes highly recommended from yours truly, and we certainly appreciate his support of the event and hanging out with us. So after the presentation, Pat joined our expert panel, which include 2 lobbyists and also included a couple of folks that you know from in the Springfield area, Ryan McCready from Springfield Sangamon Growth Alliance and State Representative Mike Coffey, our very own from right here in Springfield. They had phenomenal insights into how you can make your voice heard in Springfield. We talked a lot about, we have a unique position here in Springfield. As Springfield business owners, we're the tip of the spear here. We have the Capitol right in our very own backyard, and we can go there anytime we want without having to take a day off work and drive down from whatever city we are from. It is right here. So we can band together and make our voice heard. But the first thing you need to do is learn what's out there and learn how to do that. And that's what we talked a lot about in that panel. So we had our moderator from Kayla, the Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse Illinois, Philippe Mellon. He was a phenomenal moderator, bringing a lot of great insights of his own in the work that he does, but did a great job discussing all the current issues that we have right now and how we can band together and make our voice heard as business owners so we can potentially influence bills that are being made right here in our hometown that affect all of us here in the entire state. So we've got some other things coming up with that we're going to do some follow-ups with that event. If you missed it today, hey, you missed a lot of impactful stuff. That panel was absolutely phenomenal. So Big Dog Business Coaching, we're going to have some other educational events coming up. Hope to see you there. So next up is the Communities Grow Together segment with Sarah Brewer. Be right back after the break.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.
All right, and we are back. Joining me in the studio now is Sarah Brewer. Sarah, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for joining me this afternoon. You guys have some cool stuff coming up that we're going to talk about today. Sarah is from the Illinois Women in Leadership, but also from UIS. We're going to touch on both. But before we get to the Women in Leadership, why don't we just touch on UIS real quick? That's your day job,
That's
right?
the day job. Yep. Well, and with the work I do, probably day is a misnomer as well. But
Right.
I'm the development director for the UIS Performing Arts Center. So I am responsible for all the fundraising. And that means that I develop the fundraising. I work with our donors, develop relationships that lead to opportunities for the Performing Arts Center. And we are in the midst of a unique season right now. People may be aware, they may not be aware, but the building that houses our venues is undergoing plumbing renovations. Capital Development Board is taking care of that. And so we are closed.
I did not realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So our venues are completely closed for the season. And the plumbing needs to be done. We're happy that Capital Development Board has taken that project on. But we're, of course, not happy to be closed for a season. And we are such a community-based location for high school graduations, Copper Coin Ballet, Illinois Symphony Orchestra, stuff like that. So we definitely didn't want to displace them for the season, but we're trying to take advantage of that closure. And we're fundraising right now so that we can replace the seats and the carpet in the auditorium. And our hope would be we will reopen Labor Day of 26. And when we do, we'll welcome audiences back to nicer seats,
All
more
brand new
comfortable.
seats. There
That's
you
the
go.
goal. Yeah, that's the goal.
That'd be awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Again, I would say day job, but I go to a lot of shows, evenings,
yeah.
weekends, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And do you have a favorite show?
I can't say that I have a favorite show, but I really like the Broadway productions that come through, all of the lights and scenery and fancy costumes, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we had Rhonda Brinkman in a couple of weeks ago. I know she does some work with Copper Coin. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They're a
absolutely.
great organization and usually come out and do the Nutcracker and then one other ballet during the season, as well as they work with us on sensory friendly productions
Mhm.
that we do from time to time. And so they will also put, I would say, abbreviated ballets together so that we can bring in audiences where people may be neurodivergent on the spectrum, things like that. And so it provides an opportunity for them to see these shows as well.
Awesome, awesome. So be closed up until Labor Day of next year. But
Mhm.
if somebody right now says, "Hey, I'd love to get involved in this project. I'd love to help out with those brand new seats." What
I
would
would
what
love
would
for
they do?
people to do that. So all they need to go is to our website, uispac.com. And the Second Act campaign is what we are titling our fundraising efforts. Basically, Sangamon Auditorium opened in 1981, and there hasn't been any updates to the seating or the carpet or anything like that. So we're going to consider that our first act and that we're in intermission right now. And then when we reopen, it'll be our second act. So
Love that.
if they go to the website, uispac.com, there's information about all of those things. And you can sponsor seats, you can sponsor rows. So if you've got a loved one that you want to honor or, have a seat or a row be in recognition of someone, we've got all that set up.
Awesome. The arts are so important too, and you guys do so much community-based stuff. It's just a phenomenal venue to have, and then getting it all spruced up like that would be amazing.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We're excited to reopen. Should be a great season once we do.
There we go. Well, you're also involved, highly involved with Illinois Women in Leadership, and
I
that's what
am.
we're primarily talking about today. You guys
Yep.
have a great event coming up here in a couple of weeks. But before we get to that event, tell us a little bit about what Illinois Women in Leadership is.
Sure. So, Illinois Women in Leadership, it's a volunteer organization and it's an opportunity for women to network and also have professional and personal growth. Most people, when they hear the title Women in Leadership, the expectation is that to be a member, you've got to have some fancy title after your name. And the reality is, the women involved come from all walks of life. And so, maybe they work outside of the home. Maybe they don't work outside of the home. Maybe they're retired and they're a volunteer in the community. Really and truly, I think leadership comes in all forms and facets. And so everyone is welcome. And then the goal of what we do, we have monthly luncheons, different events, pop up socials. We are a community organization that wants to give back. So we have several different types of scholarships that we offer. There is a giving circle that's a part of the membership as well. And it's really just women coming together to empower each other, I think would be the easiest way to explain the work that we do. It's again, it's all volunteer based. So everybody's got an alter ego, so to speak. And it's a really, really great group to be a part of. And I've been apart for only about 3 years now and somehow found myself as co-chair for the annual symposium. So I dived into it right away and
Yeah.
got heavily involved.
There you go. So the monthly luncheons, do you guys rotate around to different places or do you have a standing place that you guys always go to?
So we have a standing place. We're at Mariah's Steakhouse, which women-owned business. And then we have a different speaker that comes in, either someone from the local community or regionally. And we usually have those planned out for the year. So you can look at who's coming in and who the speaker is going to be. That luncheon is it's a really unique experience. It's not something that I've necessarily experienced anywhere else, but we're there for about an hour and a half. And the first 45 minutes of that is just social. And
Mhm.
so you eat your lunch, but then we actually go around the room. It's usually about 40 to 50 women. Everybody introduces themselves. Everybody talks about what their job is, what they're doing, so that if there's someone across the room that you're interested in meeting, you know who they are, what they do, that sort of thing. And then that second half, that last 45 minutes, we have a speaker on a variety of topics.
What are some of the topics that you cover? Just a little bit of everything?
Everything. We've had speakers that come in and talk about different local initiatives. So, for example, We've had representatives from different nonprofits come in. We have people who have been involved in local government come in and talk about their experience working their way up. We've had people come in and talk about equity inclusion experiences that they've had or takeaways that they'd like for the community to know. We have topics that may relate more to personal growth and learning about yourself. I mean, it really is anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So is there dues that you pay to be a member each year?
There are. So it's $80 a year, and 20 of that goes towards our scholarships. And then at the symposium, which we'll be talking about, you can get a discounted rate if you sign up on that day.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, let's get into the symposium.
Okay.
It's coming up here real soon.
It is.
Is it your biggest event of the year?
I would say that it is our biggest event just in terms of the number of attendees that come. I don't want to make it sound like it's the most important event because I don't think that's necessarily true. All of our events are great. We do the Athena Awards that happen in July. And then, of course, we have pop-up socials, luncheons, things like that. But Symposium is a one-day professional development training. It's from 8:30 in the morning till 4:15. We hold it at the Crown. And this year it'll be September 19th. We always have a keynote speaker that's someone recognized at the national level. And then we do breakout sessions that are local and regional women that come in and speak on a variety of topics.
Love it. Who's the keynote this year?
So the keynote this year is Andrea Flack-Weatherald. And she is a author. She's got 2 best-selling books. The first one is called The Funny Thing About Forgiveness. And the second one is Mindful Improv Thinking, Building a Culture of Resilient Trust. She's also the president and founder of the Center for Mindful Improv Thinking. And basically, she's going to be coming in. She's going to spend the whole day with us. And she'll start the day with her keynote, which is talking about building a culture of trust. And then she will close things out for us doing a breath and imagination workshop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yeah, very exciting. So how do you go about selecting a keynote each year?
So we work with Capital City Speakers Bureau, and they're amazing. Basically, they're very familiar with the organization. We bring in for Symposium around 350 to 400 women. And so they're familiar with the demographic and what we're looking for, what our price range is. And
Sure.
so then they're able to provide us with a list of speakers. We usually narrow it down to about 3 or 4. And then they set up Zoom interviews with us for those last 3 or 4, and we pick from there.
They're a good group, Capital
great.
City. They do a nice job. I know some of the other organizations that I work with use them as well, and they always do a phenomenal job of getting the right folks in front of you.
It's great. Well, and if you don't come from a background of working with conferences and things like that, they're very, very helpful in terms of what you need to know, what you need to prep for and plan for. And then Catherine is usually there with us day of just to make sure everything flows well and we have the information we need. So it's great resource to have.
No doubt about it. What are some of the breakout sessions, some of those other sessions that you have that day?
So we have 3 breakout time slots, and then there's 3 sessions within each one. So you've got 9 options ultimately to choose from. You've got a variety. We've got several that are going to be on AI, learning about what AI is, learning about how you can use it in your career. We've got a networking session. It's not called networking for introverts, but if you're not comfortable with networking,
Sure.
we're going to ease you into it. We've got a session on women's finance. We've also got a session on women's health that's talking about metabolism and weight loss and just some of the different things unique to women when it comes to health. We've got a panel on revisioning your life and work, a panel on reaffirming equity, foundational tools for understanding DEI. And then also a speaker that's going to talk about her journey through loss and coming out of grief and moving on from that experience.
All very timely topics.
I think so.
So,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So what are some of the local folks that are leading those? You have folks that are part of the group that are leading those? How's that
So
work?
some of the women who are leading those sessions, for example, Sarah Goldman, who's with Merrill Lynch, is a member of I Will, and so she's going to be leading the one on women's finance. And then Rebecca Parton, who is from Lincoln Land, she'll be doing one of the sessions on AI. Debbie Thompson, who's actually the president of I Will this year, she has a business, Always On Consulting. She's going to be doing the one on networking. So she's got lots of experience there. Dr. Nikki Florence and Mary Hitt are going to be doing the one on women, weight, and hormones. And obviously, again, very qualified. Sparkle Sanders is the one who's doing the session on revisioning your life and work. And then Kathy Batty Freeman, who is actually over with me at UIS, is going to be doing the session on generative AI for career advancement.
Awesome. The AI is huge right now. I mean, everybody needs to get at least a little taste of that, knows how that can create more efficiencies for them in their work and life, quite frankly.
And we do a survey at the end of every symposium each year. And I won't say it's so long that it's annoying, but it's a fairly extensive survey. And we ask people, what do they want to see in the upcoming year? And then we really do stick with that, and we take that very seriously. And so networking and AI in particular were things that people had asked for last year, and we're trying to make sure that we bring those in and offer them this year.
That's awesome. So what's the schedule for the day?
So we start the day off at 7:30. 7:30 to 8:30 is our registration time. The Crown sets up a coffee bar and a grab-and-go breakfast. You'll come in, if you're familiar with the Crown Hotel, you'll come in and registration is there on the main floor at the big check-in desk. Head upstairs to the ballroom, and we'll have the breakfast set up outside in that long hallway outside the ballroom. Go in, find a table, meet the women around you. 8:45 is when our keynote starts. And then from there, we just move through from keynote to breakout sessions. We stop for lunch. The registration includes your breakfast and your lunch. Lunch is a buffet. Again, Crown does a lovely job. And then after lunch, we have 2 more breakout sessions, come back together into the ballroom for the closing with our keynote speaker. And then at 4:15, we move to the bar. And part of your registration also includes a drink ticket. So first drinks on us. Just gives everybody an opportunity to really have a conversation.
A little happy, have a little more networking there.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Well, and it's a Friday. I mean,
there you go. Yeah, it works out perfect.
By 4:15 on a Friday, you're done.
So what's the date on that again?
So date on that is September 19th.
And where do people go to get those tickets?
So registration for symposium is on our website, which is iwill.biz. So that's iwil.biz. And we will have registration open through September 12th. That's a week before the actual event. If you are an I Will member, registration is $125. If you're not a member, registration is $149. Absolutely feel free to join and then get that lower registration cost. We're expecting it to be a great turnout this year and really hope that people will take advantage of the opportunity. But again, just going to that website, iwill.biz, and that'll get you all the information that you need.
Awesome. Yes, you got a little over a week to get registered.
Yes.
So get on out there if you want to go to
time.
this. It's time to get going on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before we close out, the Athena Awards, you mentioned those earlier. Tell us a little bit about those.
So Athena is actually an international organization, and it is a nomination process where we accept nominations, local women. I will tell you, it's impressive, the list of women and their accomplishments, their impact on the community. And then those nominations are taken, and the committee that works with Athena goes through, and again, because it is an organization, at that international level, they've got requirements for what they're looking for and what it takes to win the Athena Award.
Mm-hmm.
And so based on those criteria, the applications are scored, and the nominees are advertised, shared out on social media. We share a little bio about each of the women and their accomplishments and their impact on the community. And then at the Athena Awards ceremony, which is every year in mid-July, usually out at Aaron's Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
Then they announce all of the nominees again, and then you find out on that evening who it is that's won. And so that's a really fun night, and nobody knows who the winner is. Even the
Oh, that's
women on the
fun. Yeah.
committee, nobody knows. So it's a surprise that evening in terms of who the winner is.
That's awesome. Well, Sarah, how do you feel that the Illinois Women in Leadership, how they elevate Springfield? How do they elevate our community or elevate their members?
So I would say it is raising awareness of all that's going on in Springfield. I mean, I'm not originally from Springfield, and I am always amazed at all the different things going on, all of the businesses that are growing, all of the amazing people that live here. And I think sometimes we have almost an embarrassment of riches, and you just don't know what all is out there. And so being a part of Illinois Women in Leadership, you get to know who's out there, and you get to know the work that's happening, and you get to know on a personal level the people who are in your community. And I have met so many amazing women, but then also just learned about some of the things that are happening in Springfield and the surrounding areas. And I'm not sure I would have known otherwise.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Sarah, appreciate you stopping by and visiting with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Give us that website one more time.
So it's iwill.biz, IWIL.biz.
All right, Springfield, you got a little over a week to get tickets to that event. Let's go. Well, we're going to let Sarah get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back.
Big dog, if you're doing some remodeling or redesign and build, come and see our showroom. No one does it like we will. Call Big Dog, Big Dog. Let us do it once, and then you're gonna see you'll wanna be a part of the Big Dog family. Call Big Dog, Big Dog. If you want the job done and you want it done right, call 8332 Big Dog.
Your local Window Depot USA.
Big Dog.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Do want to thank Jared Brahler from Brahler Paving and Concrete for spending the day with us. Awesome insights, great story of him getting going in his business. Also want to thank Sarah Brewer from UIS and Illinois Women in Leadership discussing their upcoming event. A reminder, you only have a little over a week left to get a ticket for that event if you want to go. So let's get out there and get it done. So take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield.
Look, I get it. Mortgages sound boring until you realize you need one, and suddenly you're neck deep in paperwork. Googling terms like escrow and DTI like you're studying for a finance exam you didn't sign up for. I'm Fred Weber at 217 Mortgage. I break it down like a real human, not a robot in a tie. VA loans, first-time homebuyer, refi, I've got you. Local, fast, and yes, I answer my phone. 217 Mortgage, because adulting is hard enough.
Equal Housing Opportunity, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, NMLS number 6606, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Conditions and restrictions apply. This is not a loan commitment or guarantee of any kind. All mortgage loan products are subject to credit and property approval. New American Funding, LLC, all rights reserved. Corporate Office 14511, Myford Road, Suite 100, Tustin, California 92780. Phone number 1-800-450-2010, NAF.com.